My architect friend Catherine tells me that this is the prospector view from looking above, looking down. And after living on a single floor for 13 years, it's really nice to have this view. This reminds me of New England in the winter or something. So the house has gotten wrapped and windows are going in. It's looking really nice. This is my favorite window. Shows all of the beautiful, huge trees we have in our canopy. Part of the great thing about living in an older neighborhood. Here's some more of the windows, the doors that will be up here, and one of our front windows was added today. So I wanted to just take a minute and talk about kind of the several options that we know that we had going into this. I was also talking about this earlier today, but just thinking through kind of what your options to do a backyard build would be. We looked at Studio Shed, which is a kit that you purchase. You can customize it in a number of different ways, but you pay for the kit, they send it to your house, and then you just have someone assemble it for you. The second option we looked at was actually buying a tiny house on wheels, and you can get those. The Studio Shed kits, I want to say, start at like 10 or 12,000 for maybe an 8x10 box. I've seen a lot of music studios that have been something like that. The second option was the actual tiny house on wheels, kind of more traditional tumbleweed tiny house style. And we did look at that. Both of those were smaller options, obviously. The tiny house on wheels, you could get probably anywhere. I've seen them from like 30,000 to like 80,000. There's actually a tiny house community where they have some of these really nice ones. We stayed in one with 2 bedrooms and a loft, and it felt very spacious. It had a fireplace. In Georgia, they have a little area like that. The third option was to contact a company that builds tiny houses. That's kind of what they do. And so that I found there was a company in Atlanta that does that, and you kind of can choose between about 4 different floor plans, and then you just pay them and they come up and pop it up pretty quickly. And of course we chose the very customized, very long option, and you know, in this way we were able to get exactly what we wanted and a little bit more space. So yeah, I just wanted to talk through those different ideas with you. Right now we are right in the middle of making a lot of like really crucial down to the wire decisions about just nitpicky first world things, which if you have a house or you've ever lived in a house or an apartment, you know how maddening those very important and also very insignificant things are. But you gotta live with that shade of gray for the rest of your life or whatever. So that's right where we are. We are having to make all those little decisions. We decided to have a little bit larger just shower stall as opposed to adding a bathtub, which also allowed more room in the office downstairs, which is a 12 by 12 space, and it had some of that space taken away by the tub. So those are kind of the little things we're having discussions about kind of on a daily basis at this point. The sheathing is supposed to go up next week if everything goes as planned. So hopefully I'll have another update for you next week.